Welcome to the Coquitlam Whiskey Barrel Podcast with your hosts, Uncle Corey and Uncle Dono.
Recording off some bullshit.
He left his Stanley Cup back on the ice in 1980.
It's embarrassing.
Let's give Corey a round of applause like you were the fucking service staff at a wedding.
Who shot you? Separate the weak from the obsolete.
I think this is the most consistent we've actually done this year.
Like the last 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Well,
No, I mean, like, didn't we do this like 4 days ago? 5? 5 days ago? I don't even know what date.
well, we got a big trip coming up, so we had to get one in.
Yeah.
Because the people that
They thirst for it.
do you have no idea how mad they were when we were silent for so long?
Yeah,
Now that we're back, they're silent.
Yeah, that's true. They are very silent. I mean, I was on my honeymoon for 3 weeks, and I was getting shit that I wasn't podcasting from Lisbon, Portugal. And it's like, well, why aren't you podcasting? It's, well, how about I'm not worrying about it? But we're back, and it's consistent. I mean, if there's one thing I can guarantee this season, it's two things. It's we'll keep podcasting as long as people... Oh no. Sorry. Just Wendy.
We're going to take a quick pause. We'll be right back, 1:10 in. And we're back.
Phones open, and Wendy Dick entered her own studios, and nothing happened.
It was a big week this week.
Monster week.
Not for some of us. You know, I'm really disappointed because there it is. Team the Prius. Is he still the Prius? What is he?
Yeah.
Like, why hasn't he changed his name?
I don't know, because it's a little racist towards himself.
Right.
I just don't get it.
I still don't get it. Like, Brad Friend isn't Team the other Prius?
The other Prius.
Team Friendly. Like,
yeah, it's a little, like, that comes off a little Me Too. Hashtag. You know what I mean?
So, you play in multiple leagues, as do I. Do you find in other leagues, do you have the same name, or does your name change?
To be honest, this is the only league that I have a name in. The other ones, they're already... I'm either Team Dick or... Like, in another league that we're in, I'm Team Game of Jones. I do not have Julio Jones. I'm just lazy. It just... Turns out I'm just lazy. I think that's what I'm learning about myself this season. I'm just lazy.
So, in lots of leagues, people scour the internet to find a funny name.
Of course.
To name their team after, which is a little bit, I mean, it's...
If you're lucky enough to find one that's original enough and unique enough, I don't hate it.
But for the most part, everyone's seen, oh, my balls, Zach Ertz. Like, everyone's
yes,
seen
that's a classic example. Yes.
Game of Jones, right?
Yes,
the
exactly.
Ryan
That's where
King.
I got it.
Like, everyone's seen all those ones. No one's excited about
The
those
Ryan
ones.
King. I haven't heard that. I like that a lot. That's good.
Well, you just go on Google. There's 100 of them, and they just get repeated. So it's nice that at least in this name,
Yeah.
or in this league, most people just have an original name.
Yeah.
We need some work. I mean, the King and his men. It's time. It's time
Yeah,
to
but
move on.
but he's always been the King and his men. I'm going to defend him there. You know, he's the King and his men. He says.
When was he the king? Has he won this league?
No, he split. He was one.
Okay, so he's never won. So he's never been the king. So he's aspiring to be the king and have men.
Well, I'm not a Batman, and I don't eat chalupas.
But at least yours is unique, a unique name that you made up, and it's in reference to fantasy football.
Yes, it's a rip-off. It is a rip. Yes.
Like, instead of
Chalupa
the king
Batman.
and his men, just go unathletic bag of milk, and at least that's more relevant to the type of GM he is than his team name.
Why are we going hard on?
I gotta go on
right
somebody because we're both. We gotta go in on somebody because we're both terrible at the game.
Fuck! It's just brutal, isn't it? Like, what are we supposed to do here? You're at least still in the running here. Like, you've got wins. I have no wins.
But you've got points.
I've got points, but no wins. Like, what does it matter? Like, it's brutal. Like, is it over? Like, should I just, like...
So, I'm just... This is a PSA to Saul. If you make it into the play... You put up 45 points this week, and that was with your best team out there. If you make it to the playoffs, somehow you're 4-4, you need to be a man and relinquish your spot. Just like you should have relinquished Devonta Freeman when you accidentally dropped him. You should accidentally miss the playoffs this year and give it to old Uncle Don.
My team's so much better than it.
It's so much better. It's like, do you play Saul coming up?
I just did. He beat me. It's fucking brutal. And he just dropped Devonta Freeman. So all of that, oh, well, you know, for moral code and good standing, I've kept him and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he just dropped him for a kicker,
bullshit.
I think.
Just absolute bullshit. And no one really cares.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let's take a look. So you lost to Nightingale. You put up a good fight, and you were off to a hot start.
Yeah.
If you pull up the quick little box score
I
there.
was. Tyler Boyd went ham.
Well, no, Hopkins had a nice little Thursday.
Yeah.
So you're on the right track.
Yeah.
For sure. And as we know, the champs team, as Mahomes and Gurley go, his team goes.
I know, and Gurley was getting bottled up early against Green Bay. That was the other thing. I was watching that game. I was getting kind of excited, but Gurley's just a game changer. Like, he's that good. Like, even though they stopped him for the first half, he was still getting yards, and then of course touchdowns. And it's, you know, when I'm starting, oh God, just
Kenyon Barner.
Well, you know,
You took a shot?
It was a Hail Mary. It was a, what am I supposed to do here? Like, I need a running back. I got sewered with that trade last week. It's nobody's fault, but it's just still, it doesn't feel good. And then it's just, I just felt like New England was going to steamroll Buffalo, which they did. But it's also, I just figured that it would just prime for a 3 touchdowns to 1 running back that nobody knows. Patriots win, and they just get ahead and just run the ball. He got 0.4 points. So he must be out for the season, or I'm just confused about what's going on. But Nightingale's team, it's a force to be reckoned with. It really is.
So here's the weaknesses of Nightingale's team.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got to start to try to find a way to beat the champ, because right now he's looking like he can't be beat.
Yeah.
Here's how someone's gonna beat him. Michael Thomas, he's been a bit boomer bust. He hasn't been as good lately.
Yep.
Which is good. So you need Michael Thomas to have an off day. Same with Tyreek. Tyreek is still up and down.
Yeah.
It's Latavius Murray. We need Dalvin Cook to come back and be healthy.
Yeah, but look at even on his bench. Marlon Mack, 26 points. Marvin Jones, 23 points. D.D. Westbrook, 10 points. He's got Breida. Like, he's got the depth. It's what is going to happen when in the playoffs Todd Gurley sits. That's
the biggest thing, right? Is if St. Louis, so they've got their biggest challenger, I guess, is New Orleans.
St. Louis.
Of course, yeah, St. Louis Rams.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The Rams.
The Jeff Fisher era.
Yeah. Torrey Holt and the boys. Isaac Bruce. Yeah, you know them?
As it were.
Kurt Warner. The fellas.
Yeah, the fellas. Tavon Austin, I'm a big fan of.
Well, that's not far back enough.
Well, it's the Jeff Fisher era.
It's still the Jeff Fisher era.
Yeah.
We go into weeks 14, 15, 16, and they're still undefeated.
Yeah.
And say New Orleans has lost a couple games, because I think New Orleans only has 1 loss, so they could press them for that top seed.
Okay.
If New Orleans has lost a couple games and they've locked it up, who knows? Maybe Gurley gets not as many carries. You know, maybe they turn to Malcolm Brown a little bit more.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going on with the Chiefs if they've locked some stuff down? Maybe Mahomes starts to sit. So that's, I mean, you can't bank on that, but
yeah, he's got. But we can give credit where the credit's due.
He's putting up. We're trying to figure out how to beat him. That's a good compliment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like it's Swiss cheese here. Like he's
put together a roster, and we're trying to find holes, and there aren't many.
Yeah, there's not much. It's not much. And I put my best foot forward, and unfortunately, like,
you put up 120 points, you're not mad.
Yeah, I know, but I don't win.
But you need to win.
I need to win, and I don't know. Does this put me out of it? Like,
you're not out of it.
How do you know that? Like, I need everybody else to lose?
6 and 7 got in last year.
6 and 7. got in last year.
Two people who were 6 and 7 got in last year.
So what do? I need a second running back. That's what I need. That's what I need to do here, right? Like that. Like that's what we can see.
Yeah. You want Jordan Howard?
I don't know why, because he had a big week this week.
He's had a couple big weeks. He's had a few.
Yeah.
He's a top 20.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah, I like Jordan Howard. Sure, why not? I need to do something, and I don't know what it is.
Okay, I want DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
You want Gronk and Howard?
Gronk and Howard? Well, I do. Well, I got Kittle. The future of the tight end position.
Okay. Well,
It's not that I don't want it. It's just that I just have Kittle. I just feel like I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
Okay.
I'm in disbelief.
all right.
Gronk and Howard. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying no to that, but then I need to. Who am I starting? Chris Godwin.
Do you want Howard and Alshon?
Oh,
Howard
yeah.
and Edelman? Like those kind of...
Like Howard and Alshon. I probably do Howard and Alshon.
Is that more what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
I'm just
something
saying,
we can think about.
upgrading my tight end, I'm not really that worried
Okay.
about it.
Yeah,
Nobody has good tight ends.
I didn't look and see that you had Kittle. I didn't know who your tight end was.
Yeah.
I assume no one has anybody decent. But
So Patterson pulled off a win, so now he's 3 and
the
5.
Battle of the Vets, which is nice for you.
Why is that?
Because that's one... Like, he's only 3 and 5 now. And
Yeah.
Perry's 4 and 4. So you're still in it. All the people who had losing records, I think, won for the most part.
So I
The
have
French won. So you're
So
still
it's
in it.
harder to catch up. Is that what you're saying?
No. Everyone's still involved.
I really like that Chris Hinton's team is falling back to earth.
His team's terrible. I don't know why his team thinks it's good. I don't know why he thinks
He
it's
thinks
good.
it's good. He thinks it's really good. Matt Bryant, at least he changed the name. He updated it.
He didn't. It's still Matt Bryant. You still can't read.
Oh shit! My eyes are going.
You've been up for 15 hours. I don't blame you.
I'm up for 15 hours. I just worked for 15 hours. I've been up since Jesus Christ, 20 hours. It's a nightmare.
Hinton's got great running backs.
Yeah, Hunt, Kamara.
How did he get Hunt and Kamara?
I traded him Kamara for Julio and Marshawn Lynch. And then Marshawn Lynch went to IR. Classic Don.
That was a terrible trade.
Well, that's the definition. It was fine before he went to the IR.
Sure.
It's just it's just exactly the way my team's been going all.
He's got Thielen and Woods. Hinton's team's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Not mad at it. Sterling Shepard came back.
Why does he still have Des Bryant on his bench?
Because he's a bum. That's why. Because he's a goddamn bum. And Paul goes as the Carolina Panthers go. 34.2 points for Cam. Nice big. Mike Evans. Ham. And with Fitzmagic back, that's a top 10 wide receiver all day long.
They named him the starter for next week.
I know.
Winston is out.
I
It's
saw
over.
that. He's a bum. Kenyon Drake had himself a little Thursday. And what happens if... Now, what do you do if you're the Le'Veon Bell owner? You're Paul right now. What do you do?
I think I still trade him.
I don't know what to do with him. What are you going to get for him? What are you going to give Paul for Le'Veon Bell? What are you going to give Paul for a guy that will not play for at least 2 to 3 more weeks?
They're saying week 10, right? So we're coming into what, week 8?
Week 8, yeah.
So 2 more weeks, but he's on a bye, so you really miss him for 1.
Like,
I guess if you're Paul, you hold him. I guess.
like if you had Philip Lindsay, is that a fair trade? Oh, Paul happens to have him. Okay, if you have, say you just like who's a waiver wire running back that just got picked up that's like not doing too poorly. Like the backup running backs have been pretty good, like this James Connors of the world. If I was Nightingale, yeah,
I'd look to trade for Le'Veon Bell.
Yes, that's a great idea.
If I was you know what I mean. If you're way ahead,
like Marlon Mack,
probably plus
Marlon Mack plus. But would you take it? I mean,
he's held on to him for so long. At this point, do you just ride it out and just hope? But when he comes back, he's going to split time with James Conner anyway.
Yeah.
Or do they just run the shit out of
or
Le'Veon
do they
and
just
go, fuck you? you're trying to not get injured, we're gonna actively try to get you worn down as much as you can.
Like Hinton's got Robert Woods. Do you take Robert Woods for Lev Bell? If you're the Bell owner, if you're Paul. I mean, you're running Doug Baldwin out there. And
because he's fine with Lindsay and Chubb and Drake. Yeah, I think Paul should ship him. And I think he still has value because of the name and the hype that he's coming back. It's like when Josh Gordon was coming back.
Like,
oh, he's coming back.
Yeah.
Someone's got and picked him up, and someone traded him. He might come back, and then he did nothing.
Oh, here's a great one. Here, I think I've figured it out. Emmanuel Sanders. He's having himself a bit of a year.
If I am...
Paul, do you take Emmanuel Sanders?
Yes, but if I can get in the mindset of Paul, I don't know if he knows that Emmanuel Sanders has had that big of a year. We never hear from Paul. We don't know how active he is.
We have no idea how. He is on the wire a lot, and he's French, so he's sneaky. So you're not 100% sure exactly what he's up to.
Like, how much red wine and poutine is he drinking and eating?
More than I think either of us can imagine, to be honest. I think that's his life. And I you know, hate the player, don't hate the game. Or sorry, hate the game, don't hate the player. Whatever it is. I don't know. Brain's
he just all of a sudden shows up out of, like, he was at my house a couple weeks ago. I didn't know where he came from, but it's great to see him.
Yes, of course. It's always a pleasure.
He's
to
a
see
mystery.
him. He brings
wrapped in a riddle.
Yeah, he's an enigma. He brings nothing but good times. He's always down to just be chill and have a good time.
He definitely never makes my night worse.
No. That's a great way to define him.
Yeah.
He never makes your night worse.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not he brings it up, well, that depends on your relationship with Paul. But he doesn't make your night worse.
Yeah.
So here you went at it with the Prius, and Amit.
Yeah. And Amit conceded last week on the podcast, which I was thrilled about. But then he brought the noise. So he kind of did the old switcheroo on me. The old slow play.
Chris Carson finally had himself a week.
All of Amit's bums decided to have days.
Yeah, they really did.
Right? Stephon Diggs has been up and down. This was an up week.
Yeah.
Tyler Lockett's been up and down. This was an up week.
Yeah.
His defense and kicker, these were up weeks.
Yeah.
Wendell Smallwood decided to get the ball over Clement. That was an up week. Chris Carson decided he could play. That was an up week.
Yeah.
And
he had Zeke on a bye, Tevin Coleman on a bye. This is the week of his backups, and
and they still showed up. So he survived his buys, which was great. So I'm happy for him. Again, put up over 100 points and lost. It's hard to be mad, but you got to be mad when you're not winning.
And you lost your Will Fuller.
I lost Will Fuller after he put up 18 points, but I've got Edelman, Jarvis, and Alshon, so my depth is okay at the position. I'm not terribly mad at it.
I'm baffled by the fact that you started David Njoku over Rob Gronkowski.
So at 9 a.m. I had to make a decision on Sunday because Gronk was playing Monday night.
Right.
And he was still questionable. His back might be limited, might be out there just to be a decoy. We don't know.
Yeah.
Njoku's been a top 5 tight end the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He's put up double-digit points.
Yeah.
So do I risk and wait for Gronk, or do I just start a guy who's been a top 5 anyway and playing Pittsburgh who doesn't have a great defense?
Trying to get the 8 points kind of thing.
Yeah.
Hey, you got 0 though.
And I got bageled. I mean,
even if you started Gronk, it wouldn't have done anything, but still.
Nope. I mean, what did I make a mistake? I benched Alshon because he was playing against Jalen Ramsey.
Jordan Howard.
That was smart. Yeah, I guess I could have played Jordan Howard over Jarvis.
I have Howard in the league too. I benched him.
And he's been good the last 2 weeks, so that's hard. So I'll probably start playing him again.
But what business does Paul have having Josh Doxson on his team?
That's Team of Meat. Yeah, we're not sure.
Like, what is that? Like, is he still alive? Is Meat? Like, I know he called in last week.
Same with Corey Davis.
Yeah, like he's on a bye, and you couldn't come up with something better than that. His kicker really smoked you there, though. 13 points. That's good. He drafted him in the 5th.
Pick him up early.
Nice and early.
So Nightingale came after me for Saquon.
So, okay, let's talk about that. Trade talks.
Because we were talking about it over the podcast, and you know how I said to him last week, it starts with Tyreek or it doesn't start at all.
Oh, right, yes. Oh, yeah, the gauntlet was laid, as it were. Yep.
So I actually read about the trade over email, not over the app. I get
Meaning
email trade
he-
offers as well.
Oh, okay.
But you know how when you go on the app, you can see a little notification like, oh, you've got a request or a roster move or something.
Yeah. A trade has been offered in your
Something,
whatever.
it is. So I pulled it up, and it was a monster deal.
Okay. God. Now I've done deal before you go. I would like to say I've done deals with Nightingale in the past.
Yep.
I never feel too slighted. We've made good on a lot of things, so I'm not going to go into this with any biases other than I have made trades with him before. I find I always have to give a little more than I'd like, but that's fine. That's just good GMship. That's just him. That's not a word, but but that's just him.
Grinding.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's fine. Oh, he wins the trade. Well, good for him. Like what's wrong with that?
Pull up his team. I think it was a 4 for 2.
Oh, a 4 for 2.
Yeah.
That's aggressive.
Yeah,
I
if
do
I'm
like
not,
that.
If I'm not mistaken.
Are you giving up the 4 or are you giving up the 2?
I'm giving up the 2.
Okay. Hold on. My eyes are really going. I can barely see any of this. I don't understand why his nickname is Dark. What is that? I don't get it. I've never understood it, and it's been that way for years. Okay, so
we should have asked the hard-hitting questions last week.
When he came in hot about falling ass backwards into points.
He was really mad that he fell ass backwards into points, and he was really mad about the secret council that decided everything about the league. Which
is hilarious because turn your phone on and answer text now and then, and maybe you'll learn about things.
So Team Dark. Shots fired.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Nightingale would trade Mark Ingram.
Okay.
Latavius Murray.
Okay.
Marlon Mack.
Jesus.
And Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
For Saquon and Kerryon Johnson.
Okay. Okay. So Marlon Mack.
Yep.
Mark Ingram.
Yep.
Latavius Murray and
Tyreek Hill.
Wow. For Saquon.
Saquon.
Sorry, and what was your other one that you had?
And Kerryon Johnson. So I basically.
But you don't approve. Oh no, you get Tyreek Hill. Why did you say no to that?
I didn't. Sorry, I saw this over email, not on the app.
Oh. That's him consolidating. That's what he's doing there. I like that a lot.
When I went onto the app, the trade was gone.
Oh wow!
So he had taken it down.
Yeah. See, what he's doing there is he's taking his depth, which he has, and he's trying to consolidate it. And I'm a big proponent of that. I like that a lot.
No, absolutely. So here's the one thing is this.
So then he has Gurley and Saquon though. Jesus.
And Kerryon Johnson, who's been 400, 300, over 300 yards the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The one issue is that now I have to go out and get Dalvin Cook because I've got.
Who's got Dalvin Cook?
Kurt.
Oh God.
Which has been impossible.
Who knows what's going on with Kurt?
Yeah. Kurt offered me Dalvin Cook for Kerryon Johnson 2 weeks ago.
Why would he? Okay. Why? What? What?
So basically take Latavius Murray out of that deal because Cook will be back next week. He was supposed to play this week. He's back. So Latavius has no value to me without Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, but you still get Tyreek Hill.
So it's Tyreek Hill.
Saquon's the best player in the trade for sure.
100%.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So it's basically what I'm saying is it's basically Saquon and Kerryon for Tyreek Hill, Mark Ingram, and Marlon Mack.
Yeah, I still
think it's a decent deal across the board.
Yeah,
it leaves me with basically Ingram and Mack as my 2 running backs.
Yeah, but
which is fine.
Yeah,
it's a downgrade.
Our flights to New York are now $977 if we wanted to get them right now.
We got them for $500.
We predict even higher prices. Please book ASAP.
Good thing we booked like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. They were $1,300 last week.
Oh, so they've gone down.
They're competitive. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah. I don't hate that at all. I think that's a good move by Nightingale because, God, I don't know. I don't want his team to get any better, but what does it matter? I can't win a game to save my life anyways.
I just think he had a hard time parting with Tyreek because he took that trade off the board.
Oh, okay.
So if we pull his team up, it was gone before I had a chance to like really look at it on the app and look at my roster and see what the move would be.
Yeah.
So for him, that would leave him with Michael Thomas and Marvin Jones. So you're not mad.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at his team and I'm going, yeah. He makes
so
it.
I was interested that he took it down. Again, for that, I don't need Latavius. I would need Dalvin Cook and Latavius.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marlon Mack, Mark Ingram, and Tyreek Hill. Mark Ingram is an interesting one. What did he do this week? Nothing great.
4 points.
That's Alvin Kamara's offense still. Like he had one
Sorry,
big week.
9 points. I apologize.
Okay, so it's fine, but it's not.
I watched a bit of that game. I saw Kamara get a touchdown, so I don't know what else he got.
Kamara got 2.
2 touchdowns?
Yeah.
He's so good at football. He might be the best player in football right now, other than Gurley. Like Kamara is just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Giants just suck.
They're so bad, and that's what's almost more impressive.
That he does so well, and
Yeah.
the offense is so bad. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But no, Alvin, he's just fun to watch.
He is. He just finds space, and he's a big guy, and you just don't see. And it's just like, oh, there's the lane.
But he's not like a running back that just runs up. He's not
No.
a Marshawn Lynch. He doesn't run through people.
No, he's got space.
He runs through people, but he ghosts through them.
Yeah.
He's all of a sudden he slips by people.
He reminds me of Arian Foster when he used to just find holes and just weave through them, and you're like, how does he see that from where he is? But the camera pans out, and you're like, oh, he just weaved through those defenders, but they weren't even there. Like there was a foot and a half of space. He waited, saw it, found it, went. Kamara's the same thing. He's just like patient, like Lev Bell, and then boom, just goes through.
But he's not like Lev Bell patient who sits there
No.
and thinks about it.
Well,
he hits the hole hard, but he already knows where the space is going to be before he gets there.
Bell's always got his hand on the lower back of whatever offensive lineman's in front of him. And
he's got his chin on the shoulder, he's rubbing the butt, and then he makes his move.
Yeah, whoa. Hashtag me too.
You know,
that's an inside joke. If you're listening to this and you chuckled at that one, leave that one alone.
One of the guys I was talking to at work the other day, he goes, you know, it's funny that hashtag Me Too movement and everything. I go, well, it's not really funny. I think it's whatever. They're standing up for their issues that have come about in the past.
Yes,
and it's a whole thing.
And I make light of it, but I don't mean to.
He's like, but the saying behind it. I go, what do you mean? He's like, hashtag Me Too. He goes, you know what a hashtag is, right? I go, yeah. Well, he's like, well, it's the pound sign. Oh yeah. He's like, well, so it's pound,
oh shit.
So it's pound Me Too. So when you're talking about, oh, Bill Cosby, hashtag Me Too, it's, oh, Bill Cosby, pound Me Too.
Oh, I never thought about that. Nobody knows it's a pound other than, well, everybody above 30 actually knows.
Yeah. So it's time. That's just what. So it's ironic that the situation that the hashtag is for, it's counterproductive.
But it's not counterproductive because nobody's saying it the other way. Nobody's saying.
But when you look at it, like if I was,
so time's up. You would say is more of an appropriate.
Yeah, if Grandma's looking at it and she's like, "Oh, all these women are complaining about getting raped, but they're saying pound me too."
Okay. Let's just shuffle step at this point. Michael Crabtree's having a terrible season.
Anyway, Nightingale. That trade was out there. He took it down. I guess he had a little bit second thoughts. He wants to keep his depth for a little bit longer. He's now 8-0.
Yeah.
We'll see if he wants to consolidate or move on. I mean, he's taken by 2 starting running backs, so that's always a tough deal to make when you're dealing your 1 and 2, and not necessarily getting a 1 back, but you're getting a top 5 wide receiver. So it's
right. You are getting rid of Kerryon Johnson in that situation as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
I like it better if we swap out Jordan Howard.
You still have Howard.
Yeah.
See, I think I don't hate this trade for both of you.
No,
I think it's good for both of you.
No.
I think that you get depth, and he just goes, yeah, I want fucking Gurley and Saquon. Go fuck yourselves, everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I just think...
So that's why I'm saying he should be going after Bell.
Yeah. But...
He should be trading Marlon Mack.
Luckily, Paul won't trade anything ever anyway, so it doesn't really make much of a difference.
You want to talk about the vets going at it? The hard-hitting matchup? We previewed it.
The King and his men and Big Daddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's take a peek.
Big Daddy needed a win and he got it.
He needed a win and he got it.
He was commenting earlier about his 0-5 or 0-4 start and how bad his
won
team
4
was.
in a row.
But he's
won 3 or 4 in a row.
As NBA Jam says,
he's heating up.
He's heating up.
Yeah, he is. He's on fire. Yeah. And let's take a look at it. We got Kirk Cousins. Like, he's gonna live and die on David Johnson. Like,
and he won't move him.
Nope. And
Lamar Miller had a nice day. That helped him a ton.
Yes, he did.
And Odell is finally starting to put up more and more points, which is great.
He starts slow. He's a slow starter.
Yeah.
That's just the player he is. Demarius Thomas, after a couple hot weeks, sunk.
He might be getting traded.
Yeah,
the Pats are interested.
I heard the Pats are interested. And as a Pats fan, I'm not that interested, to be honest. I don't think Demarius Thomas has been good for a while. I mean, if he wants to come, like, he already has a Super Bowl ring, so it's not that. If he wants to come and bolster the receiving corps, great, but he's not going to get paid. And he's a possession receiver that has not been good for about 3 years. So it doesn't, like, there's a lot more out there that I'd be interested in as a Pats fan, and even in the fantasy world, I don't think that helps him if he goes to the Pats. I think he's just another body.
Just another body to clog up, to take away from Gronk and Edelman and Hogan and Gordon.
Yeah, exactly.
2 extra catches go his way.
Oh, and finally somebody started Sammy Watkins. Brad was lucky enough to get 22 points out of him.
Which was the make or break difference pretty much in this matchup. In a boom or bust, and Sammy Watkins went off.
Well, Perry was starting the absolute living legend that is Trenton Cannon from New York Jets running back. I didn't know that was a player until right now. So you got that. And the Vikings were playing New Orleans, and he ran that DST out there. So there's always that. But he had a bad bye week. Julio was on a bye. Sony Michel's out. He's living and dying with Dion Lewis, and has he traded Kenny Golladay? And the answer is simply no.
Well, he's been hot, Kenny G.
He got 1
His
point.
routes have been so smooth, Kenny G. And he's been on fire, and Perry's had him on his bench.
Yeah, and then he starts him.
Decided to start him. I think we peer pressured him a little bit on the podcast last week.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he might be regretting it.
It is what it is, though. Like, when it's that smooth, how can you say no? You don't say no, right? But,
12 yards for Kenny Golladay. What happened? That was one catch. Right?
1 catch, 12 yards.
That Seahawks defense, it's back.
Is it
Legion
back?
of Boom.
I don't know.
They're hot.
I have no idea.
Roll into Detroit and knock off the Lions, the deadly Lions, with that high-powered offense. Golden Tate and the boys.
Yeah, Golden Tate and the boys. Yeah, Kenny G. Like, he had a chance to sell high on him, and he just didn't take it. Now it's 3.7 and 1.2, and Minnesota next week. You don't love that. Chicago.
At Minnesota at Chicago. You don't like
Carolina,
those.
Chicago again. The Rams. Arizona. Like, Kenny G. I don't know. Will he trade him? Will he get anything for him?
Will he dump him?
He won't dump him. He's a man of principle. He won't get rid of him. That's true. So congratulations, Brad. Big win there. Now let's see We've gotten all over that. Okay, we talked about Sully's
talk about
disaster.
Pretty bad beat here from Team Little Hands and Team Friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Team Friendly losing by 13 yards.
Hold on, I just noticed that. Is that right?
13 yards.
0.3 points.
Yeah, and that is mostly due to Team Little Hands putting up 21 points from his defense and Team Friendly putting up a big bagel. Now, had he hung on to the defense he drafted in the 7th round, the Jags, who I believe put up double-digit points this week,
he would have won.
He would have won and gotten the win he needed.
But where does he get off starting the Dolphins against Houston? Like, what? Why is the Dolphins D gonna do anything for him on a Thursday night? Like 2 points last week. Like the most they've gotten all year is 10 points. What are you doing here? What is happening?
I guess he was hoping for only 2 points.
Like
because they can't get worse than 2, and I only need 2.
Mikey was smart enough to start the Redskins against the Giants. Well, the G-men are terrible. Absolutely terrible. If only Brad had Gostowski, I think 11 points.
If only Brad had started Carson Wentz instead of Aaron Rodgers.
When are you going to do that?
Well, why's he got him then on his team? Oh, wait, because he drafted 2 good quarterbacks early for no reason.
Yeah.
And now can't trade either of them. Does anybody trade for Carson Wentz right now? People might trade for Aaron Rodgers because of the name.
Yeah.
And Carson Wentz has been good.
Fantastic.
Of course he has. It's Carson Wentz. But are people going to trade for him?
No, he's on a bye. Can't even use him.
Are you going to trade for Carson Wentz?
No, I just traded for Matt Ryan. I lost.
Okay, so you're not. Am I? I've got Jared Goff. I'm fine with Goff. I have no problem starting him over Wentz.
Well,
I'd probably start Wentz instead, but I'm not going to trade for Wentz.
Yeah, like what are you going to give him for Wentz? Like, let's hypothetically, like what are you going to give him for Carson Wentz? Like what does he need? He needs
I'll give him Jalen Richard, maybe.
Oh, that's not bad.
I don't even know if I'd do that. That's the thing.
You got the depth. You could do it. But that's it. Like, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You get...
Traquan Smith?
No. That's a
New
flyer.
Orleans number 2?
I know who it is. It's a flyer at best. He won't be talked about for ever again.
So, Team Friendly's issues lie. When does Adrian Peterson break down? It's got to be coming soon because he's old. When Lev Bell comes back, is James Conner going to be James Conner? Probably not.
Nope, of course not. There's not even a question about that.
Shady's been up and down, so there's that issue.
He's had a nice couple games.
Yeah, he's finally getting some touches, and Greg Olson's due to break his foot again at some point.
Yeah. This is a good time to talk about just the idea of the drafting the multiple quarterbacks. If you're going to draft Aaron Rodgers, you just draft Aaron Rodgers. If you draft Tom Brady, you just draft Tom Brady. If you draft a quarterback in the top 4 or 5 rounds,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds.
It's one thing to go to draft 2 quarterbacks late into the year, like late into the rounds.
Yeah.
For example, like if you get like a Phillip Rivers and a Andy Dalton, and you go, okay, I'm going to play the matchups, or a Matthew Stafford and a Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the matchups. But if you're going to spend a top 4 pick on Aaron Rodgers,
and then
all you're doing with Carson Wentz there is just handcuffing yourself, because after 2-3 weeks, you're never going to swap him out. He's never going to start for you, but you're never going to drop him because you're going to go, fuck, I can't let the other teams get Carson Wentz. So now that's just a spot that you're just kind of sewered with. And that's just something to think about, when you're drafting next year, folks. It's just, if you're going to do 2 quarterbacks, you do them late. You don't get Tom Brady and Drew Brees and go, oh, good. Okay, well, then once it's on your bench the entire year.
The only time he's going to play Carson Wentz is on Aaron Rodgers' bye week.
Say that again?
He's going to get 1 play out of Carson Wentz, and that'll be when Rodgers is on a bye.
Yeah.
Now, I hope he did his homework, and I hope they have a bye on different weeks. But, it's Team Brad Friend. Who really knows when they have a bye?
No. And that was just the champ, by the way.
We got a message into the inbox.
Yeah.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers has had his bye, so he's through and he's fine. So he has no need for Carson Wentz anymore. Is he shopping him? I don't know.
Yeah, he sent a couple offers to me, but it was all DeAndre Hopkins for Carson Wentz.
Yeah, so it's just you've pretty much just wasted Carson Wentz for the fantasy year, Brad Friend. So thank you for that. Team Little Hands eked out the win.
Thank you. Now, who's Marcus Murphy? And Chris Ivory. Is the Buffalo backfield so stacked that you need Chris Ivory and Marcus Murphy?
As the resident Fournette, Hyde, and Yeldon owner, I feel like you're best suited to answer this question.
The answer is I would have never traded for those two fucking idiots if I had realized, and not even realized, that the very next day, you have to take your lumps. I've made trades where, while waiting for the commission to push it through, guys have blown ACLs. It happens. It's part of the game, but, ugh.
Can we just say that this year, Trader Don, it didn't pay off.
What we can say about this year, about Don, well, yeah, it hasn't paid off, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
he overextended himself.
No, I didn't.
He swung
I didn't
for
do
the fences.
anything for 3 weeks. I was gone for 3 weeks. I didn't do an ad drop. I didn't pay attention. I phoned it in for the first 3 weeks, thinking no problem. I'll get it back regardless. And I've had to just fight too many people on my way back, and it just looks like.
So you blame Wendy?
No, I blame myself because I could have,
tried.
Yeah.
Not really drafted too many running backs?
Yeah, well, yeah. I traded all my running backs.
You can't get much back, though.
I got Tyler Boyd for fucking, what's his face?
You started with Kamara and Hopkins. What happened?
Yeah, I turned Kamara.
How did it go so bad?
I turned Kamara into Julio. Then I had Julio, and then I have Aaron Jones, and I don't know. I had a bunch of running backs. Now they're all gone, and now I have 4 running backs on the same team. Oh, goddamn. Life is turned upside down.
The good news
Something
is...
zagged when I should have zigged, and vice versa.
If this trend continues, we are going to get one hell of a cocktail next year at the draft.
Oh, yeah, that's true. What? Are you suggesting that I'm going to tank?
No, but you're a few games back, and
I'm at least good. I'd at least perform.
You'd at least show up with it.
Of course. Mm-hmm. I'm a professional.
We'll see in a few short weeks if we get that loser cocktail at American Thanksgiving that we were promised.
Yeah, which we won't.
Not happening.
Guy's a ghost. Anyways, okay, so that's that for Little Hands and...
he had a fine week. Deshaun Watson carried his team. Joe Mixon's been great all year, so he's happy about that. Tariq Cohen seems to be more and more integrated. I mean, he had one 70-yard touchdown, so there's 13 points out of the 17, so he's still boom or bust. He made the right play, slotting him into his lineup. He didn't really have another choice, but it paid off for him. Here's
a question. Mm-hmm. Do you trade LaShawn McCoy for Le'Veon Bell? He needs Le'Veon Bell on his team. Right?
Oh, if I'm Brad Friend,
that's what I'm saying.
Yes, I do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Or I try to trade James Conner to Paul.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So.
They're both going to rest on what, James Conner's going to keep doing it. Le'Veon Bell's going to be huge when he comes back, and nothing's going to happen.
Some version of that.
Yeah, they're both going to be pissed off.
Okay, and what's the last match of the week?
Oh, do we want to talk about the toilet bowl?
What, this one?
Yeah. Saul, you put up 45 points.
Next question.
Kurt, you gave up 2 weeks ago. You're 3-5. You're back in the mix.
Yeah, I know. Where has he been?
He's trying to quit, so it's fine.
I know. I feel like I can't. Like, where I just feel like I haven't heard from him. I just don't know what's going on. Very unnerving. Jordy Nelson, you would have expected after Amari Cooper gone more than 1.4
Oakland's
points.
bad. But Jared Cook had a decent.
He did. He got a touchdown, maybe even 2. I watched a bit of that game
against that dreadful Colts defense.
Jimmy Graham, underwhelming for all owners this year.
He had a touchdown called back, so that he could have put up 10 points.
It was not a touchdown. I saw that. He was sitting down way before he was across the line. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
He was a butt cheek away.
He was a whole
2 butt cheek.
He was 2 butt cheeks, a spinal cord, and a helmet away. It was not. It was the right call. At first, when they first showed it, I thought it was a touchdown, and then it was no. He basically sat down and went like that to get the touchdown, but he was already sitting down. It was over. But, like, Sully, you're starting Michael Crabtree.
You're starting Nyheim Hines, LeGarrette Blount, Michael Crabtree.
How did I lose to this fucking team?
I have no idea.
Ugh.
I have no idea.
Ito Smith on a bye, holding on to him. Never know when he's going to get... Like, fuck me.
The good news is we're anticipating Sully doesn't get any more wins. Like, he's going to be 4-9.
He's going to be Sully. See, that's the other thing, is that I'm not supposed to be this bad. I'm not supposed to be this bad.
Well, pull up the full standings. You can see your points for, and you can see the issues that we've come across. But, my God. And there's just nothing out there to help you.
I don't know. Let's take a look. And this is when we take a look at the waiver wire. Danny Amendola, Michael Roberts, tight end out of Detroit. No. Danny Amendola, wide receiver. Nope. Michael Gallup, Dallas wide receiver. That's the rookie, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Marvin Hall, Mike Williams, Kapri, Bibbs. What am we looking at here?
Not a lot.
Like Kyle Rudolph? No. Jesse James? Like Will Disley? Like Ricky Seals Jones? Like what am I?
You got there's nothing there for you, pal.
There's nothing.
You got to deal DeAndre Hopkins.
And I'm at the bottom. I'm at the bottom of the waiver wire.
So don't pick anybody up because people will waiver wire defenses and you'll bump up real quick.
Yeah, I know. No. There's nothing I'm going to do with that. That's fine.
Should we get into the inbox? You got a submission?
It's not even a submission. It's just more of a nod. From Nightingale. Hard-fought week. Tough matchup in a do-or-die. But your boys showed up. Nothing to hang your head over. If we've learned anything from this league, it's that it will be a dogfight to the end for a ticket to the dance. And you still have a shot. Run it. I appreciate the kind words. And, he beat me fair and square. That is what it is. I'm not mad at anybody but myself.
You've put up a lot of points.
I know. Well,
and the wins haven't gone your way. The wins haven't gone my way. I think we have to stop making this podcast. People are just taking our advice.
Yeah, it's not helping.
Running with it.
It's not helping us.
We started it last year. Did you win?
No.
Did I win?
No.
Year 2. Are we doing well?
No.
Are we putting up points?
Yeah.
Are we? Is our record showing it?
No. But other people who listen to the podcast, they're doing well.
Very well.
Feels like something's afoot.
We're going to come to you live next week from Times Square, so I really hope you appreciate that. Don, I have no other final thoughts. Me and you got to try to run the table and see what happens. That's all I got for this week.
Who the hell am I going to pick up off the waiver wire? Who am I going to start? I got Kenyon Barner. He got 4 yards.
You're going to drop him because Sony Michel's back.
Of course I'm dropping him. What kind of question is that? So who am I picking up? A running back? Is Fournette back? Is something happening? Oh, Jesus.
Thank you for tuning into the Whiskey Barrel Podcast. We're not sure what day we're going to podcast next week.
We'll be drunk as shit. And probably Saturday to preview the Sunday game.
It's going to be a whole thing.
Or maybe we'll do the Monday night. We'll watch. Or maybe we go to a bar the Sunday night. Rodgers versus Brady. And we just get smashed and get on their Wi-Fi and podcast from Kapri Bibbs. I'm not picking him up.
Thanks for tuning in. It's only going to slowly degrade from here unless you guys let us get some wins. So start benching players if you want a productive podcast.
Phoning it in.
This is getting phoned in worse than you know. We'll see you next week.